Shabbat Shalom. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahashah Ba'Hashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom, the salutations to all the brothers that push the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right. I'm the brother Yashuan, back with the World War III Daily Update, and welcome to you. All right. Especially those with your thumbs down. You're most welcome. All right. This is RT yesterday, Russia today. Ukraine to decide how much territory it trades for peace. That's NATO, who the battle is actually against, okay? NATO and the EU are the beasts spoken of in the Bible, okay? The end time beast. All right, so Bloc Chief Jens Stoltenberg said that a deal will come at a price, but insists it's up to Ukraine. Right. What this basically means is that they're getting mopped up out there. Now it's time to try to do what we should have did in the first place before all, whatever's going on over there. Lives are being lost, infrastructure being bombed. Now you're ready to come to the table. Why? Because it's a lost cause, or the next step is them nukes. Okay? NATO and Russia. And it's going there. All right? Because there ain't going to be no peace. You understand? And let's examine that real quick before we read some of this. Okay? This is Luke 12:51. Now, who is this speaking in red? Right? You see that red right there? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. This is the one you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew. I tell you nay, but rather division. Jesus is coming to make war and to subdue, to put people in slavery, right? Now put your thumbs down to that, right? Because there's nothing you can do. And I'll show you that. All right, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. All right? What's the other one? Let's see. Bring peace. Matthew 10:34, same thing. Think not, all right? Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but what? A sword. What do you do with a sword? You go to war. He's coming to subdue all the nations of the earth and take their crowns and put them on his head. Okay? Let's get peace and safety. Okay? Here's what's not going to happen. You're not going to go to the negotiation table after how many months of war? 3-4 months of war? And suddenly work it out by doing what you should have did in the beginning. That's not what's happening here. We're coming upon the day of the Lord. Okay? Let's start at 1. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, what does this say? Brethren, okay? Brethren, who wrote this? Peter? Or Thessalonians? Is this Paul or Peter? Ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. What is the day of the Lord? It's darkness and not light. For when they shall say peace and safety. Let's go to the negotiation table and let's work it out, right? For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Got it? So peace and safety ain't coming, right? What is coming? This is what's coming. Here's your Jesus right here. Bring them hither. This isn't it. Bring them in. Let me get this. And slay them. Where is it? Who's this? Where's the red at? You see that red? But those, my enemies. This is red letters. You know who's speaking. Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus. But those mine enemies, what do you do when you go to war? Who are you fighting against? Your enemies. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. Huh? What do you mean reign of? Rule. Rulership. Okay? The Bible is a book about rulership. Who's ruling the earth right now? It's certainly not what is Jesus' nationality? He's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. He's a Jew. No, he's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. His nationality is an Israelite. The tribe he's from is the tribe of Judah. Yes, he's a Jew, but that's not his nationality. His nationality is Israelite. Okay? So, if he's an Israelite and he's going to rule in the kingdom of heaven, who is going to rule with him? The Israelites. All 12 tribes. Not just the Jews. Okay? But those mine enemies, okay, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me. So when he comes back in the middle of World War III, okay, what is he going to do? First of all, he's going to slaughter all the armies of the world who are going to try to fight against him. This is what World War III is about. Okay, hey, this is the World War III Daily Update. And we're going in the Spirit, and the Spirit said go to Revelation 19 and 19. And Satan wants to try to prevent it, okay? What's going on here? Let's start here. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, the sky open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. Who could that be on that white horse? And in righteousness doth he judge, and what else does he do? What is he coming to do? Is he coming to hand out daisies and throw his arms around everybody and say, I love you? No. He's coming to make war. Why is he going to make war? Because they're coming after him to make war. Okay? Right here. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Why on his head many? Because he just killed all the heads of all the nations of the world, took their crowns and put them on himself. They're his enemies. All the heads of all other nations other than the nation of Israel are the enemies of Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Here, I'll prove it. Revelation 19:19. And I saw the beast, NATO and the EU, and Vlad, and all the other nations other than the Israelites, right? Not the people in the land over there in Israel. No, that's not the Israelites. And the kings of the earth, all of them, all the heads of state of all the nations, and their armies. What were they gathered together to do? Gathered together to what? Make war against him. All the kings of the earth. If there's a nation out there other than the nation of Israel, okay, when I say nation of Israel, I mean the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Those are the true Israelites, okay? Not the people in the land of Israel right now. The people in the land of Israel right now are Edomites, okay, and Arabs, Ishmaelites, the ones calling themselves Palestinians. And the ancient name for Palestinian is Philistine. And those Arabs are not even the Philistines. They're not African people. Hamites of Noah's son Ham. Okay, those Arabs, right, are Ishmaelites, and they're from Shem too. So when you understand what's really going on, you can break it all the way down. So put your thumbs down and mark yourself, because guess what? You're an enemy of Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and you're going to get your head chopped off. So go ahead and mark yourself. All right? Go through all of my other videos and put a thumbs down and see how far down you can get. Will you do that for me? Do that, okay? And I saw the beast, NATO and the EU, and the kings of the earth, Vladimir Putin, Erdogan, what's his name? Vladimir, whatever, in the Ukraine, the Queen of England, the Bush family, the Obamas. They're the kings of the earth. Whoever is the president or the prime minister of that particular nation, these are the kings of the earth. And what? And their armies, all of them, gathered together to do what? To make war against him that sat on the horse. Who's that? And against his army. Who sat on the horse? And his name is called the Word of God. That's the one you ignorantly call Jesus. And the armies which were with him, Salakia, and the armies which were in heaven followed him. Followed who? The Word of God. Upon white horses, those chariots. Swing low, sweet chariot. Okay? War chariot, that is. Well, all the armies of the earth, okay, are going to try to fight against him and the angels. Okay, now let's go back and see. And right here you see who won. And on his head were many crowns. Okay, and that name written that no man knew but himself, we know it now. It's called Yahushua is his name. Now let's go back here. Uh-oh. Let's read it in the NIV. But those enemies of mine, who are the enemies? All the nations of the earth that sent their militaries after him. But those mine enemies who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. Talking to the angels. And as for these enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king, bring them in and execute them right here in front of me. Here's your Jesus. See these red letters here? That's what that means. And these enemies of mine who were unwilling for me to rule over them, bring them here and slay them in front of me. Okay, this is what World War III is about. Who are these? Who are these enemies? Well, let's see. Got a list of names here, don't we? Psalm 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. Now, this is God is talking about the Most High Yahweh, right? And his son and he think exactly alike. They're on one accord. We are one, meaning we're on one accord, right? And we're on that accord with him. Let's get that real quick. 17 and 22. John 17. I learned this the other day. John 17 and 22. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them. Who is them? The elect of Israel. That they may be one. What do you mean? The elect of Israel get to be one? Meaning they're God too? If Jesus is God because God and Jesus are one, then we're all God, right? No. We're on one accord. And the glory which thou gavest to me, this is Jesus talking to God, I have given them. Jesus gave this to the elect of Israel, that they, the elect of Israel, may be one with God and Jesus. And he's saying this himself, Jesus, whose name is Yahushua, even as we are one. There goes the Trinity. That's God the Father. That's God the Son. That's God the Father. No. We are one means we are one in agreement. We are at one with each other because them that the ones that the Most High gave to Yahushua are at one with him, that they may be one, even as we are one. In them and in Salaki. I in them and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that thou hast sent me. You see the separation here? And thou hast loved them as thou hast loved me. Get it? No, it's too high for you. All right? It's too high for you. So we are at one with Yahushua, and we are at one with Yahweh, just like Yahushua is at one with Yahweh. Okay? Now, back to where we were. Sorry for the sidetrack, but who are our enemies? Okay? Keep not thou silence, O God. This is about God. Okay? And the one you ignorantly call Jesus, his son, is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Okay? So it's going to include him and the Israelites in these lines here. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemies, whose enemies? God's enemies, make a tumult, and they that hate thee, well, who hates God? All the other nations. It's going to name them right here. You want to cheat? Just jump down here. And here's the list of the names of people that hate God. The nations that hate God. Okay? For lo, thine enemy. Well, who are the enemies of God? Not only God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against who? Thy people, who are God's people. Well, starting with Jesus, his son, what was his nationality? He's an Israelite of the tribe of Judah. His nationality is Israelite tribe Judah, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The Israelites. They have said, come and let us cut them, who's them, off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So if you're against God, you're against his people too. Well, who could that be? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against it. Who is they? The so-called white men, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Africans. No, we're not Africans. We're Israelites. Okay? We're hidden. Oh, well, we're just going to lump you together with the Hamites here. No, you're not. We come out of Shem. Edom comes out of Shem. Ishmael, the Arabs come out of Shem. Moab comes out of Shem. Hey, guess what? We know the truth. You can't lie to us no more. Gebal, Ammon, Japanese, so-called, the ones in our land right now. Philistines are Hamites. Tyre, Hamites. Okay? Look here. These are not the Ishmaelites. Philistines are not Ishmaelites. Palestinians are Hamites. So you can't lie to us no more. And we know who our enemies are. Look, for lo, thine enemies, okay? Wait a minute. Psalm 83. Wait a minute. And as for those enemies of mine, who are they? This is Yahushua, the one you call Jesus, saying, but those my enemies, well, who are they? Well, let's check the record. The tabernacle of Edom, the so-called white man, who's an Edomite, the Arabs, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Chinese, the Hamites, so-called Africans. Okay? Here's the list of his enemies. What are they going to do? They're going to try to fight again. They're going to try to take him down when he comes back. We'll get to it. Let me go back to Revelation 19. What are they doing? And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth, the enemies of God, and their armies gathered together to do what? To make war against his son and the angels. Yep, put your thumbs down, bitches. That's right. Because you're going to be in this position very soon. Where is it at? Put your little, and a bunch of you Israelites, you stiff-necked 2/3, you're the enemies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai too. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them. See, when you find out that the one you call Jesus Christ is a black man, he's no longer your savior, is he? No, he's your enemy. Yeah, there's no black man that's going to rule over me. Your head can get chopped off. Slay them. That means kill them in front of me. Who lied to you? Okay? We can end it right there. Let's read this. So, as we can see, this is World War III jumping off in front of us. Okay? Ukraine to decide how much territory it trades for peace. There is no peace coming. Only a sword. Okay? And that's all we need. Go read this on your own. I got this from the brother Measure the Time Diligently, I believe is this channel. The GMS, Measure the Time Diligently, is his page name. Just want to make sure I put that in there. Okay, so where are we going? We're out of here. Let's go here. Joel 3 and 2 in the NLT. I will gather. Who is I? The Most High Yahweh. See this word right here? Yahweh Shaphat. You know it as Jehoshaphat. Well, ain't no J in the Hebrew. Yahweh, right? Who you would call Jehovah. No. Yahweh Shaphat. Judgment. God's judgment. I will gather the armies of the world, all of them, into the valley of God's judgment. There will I judge them for harming my people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. What did you do to the Native American Indian? What did you do? And the buffalo. My special possession. What did you do to God's special possession? For scattering my people among the nations and for dividing up my land. Who's in the land of Israel right now? Amalek, the head tribe of the Edomites, and Ishmael, calling themselves the Palestinians. Everybody calling themselves something that you're not and stealing the land. Well, here it is right here in the scripture. So put your damn thumbs down because your head is going to be on the chopping block soon. You see this shit going down. Okay? God is gathering the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right? Why? Let's show you where Jesus gets into World War III. Start here at 9. Here's World War III. Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. All the other nations. Not Israel. All the other nations. Prepare war. World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. What does heathen mean? It means you Gentiles. And gather yourselves together round about. All right? So all of this is World War III. Fighting against each other. And then what happens? Thither cause thy mighty ones. Who's the mighty ones? The angels, which we showed you in Revelation 19. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's when they stop fighting each other and try to fight against who you call Jesus and the angels. Let's get it right here. 2nd Ezra 13. Let's start right here. 13 and 3. And behold, and I beheld, and lo, that man, what man? Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus, waxed strong, right? He was in his strength. He was in that war chariot with the thousands of heaven. Who is that? And the army that was with him, right? They were on their white horses too. Okay? And after this, jump down to 5. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together. Where have we seen that before? I will also gather. I will gather all nations. I will gather the armies of the world. Gather. Okay? Let's go back. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out. To who came out of the sea with the thousands of heaven? Who was on a white horse, and the thousands, the angels that were with him were on white horses too. Okay? Well, all of these people came together to try to fight against him, like I showed you in Revelation 19. Okay? And here's World War III. 2 Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. And here's where the angels and Jesus get into the fray. And one realm against another. The fourth dimension, they're going to come out of the fourth dimension and get into the fight in the third. Okay? And here's World War III raging, and then when the fourth dimension opens up and out come the angels and who you call Jesus, here's what's going to happen. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land, meaning the nation that they belong to, because they're all going to be fighting each other in World War III, leave the battle they have won against. They're going to stop fighting. World War III is going to come to a temporary halt. And here's what they're going to do. An innumerable multitude, everybody that was fighting against it, shall be gathered together. Here's that again, gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and overcome him by fighting. They're going to stop fighting each other, and then they're going to try to fight against that man that waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Go back to Revelation. Show it one more time, because you forgot. Okay? You forgot. Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Who's his army? And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Those are those war chariots. Let's get it again right here. Let's go to Revelation 12. The war in heaven. Revelation 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels. This is that same war. World War III. That came to an abrupt halt. And then the angels, what does it say? The angels fought against who? The dragon. That's the great red dragon, going back to the Roman Empire. Today is the new Roman Empire. The dragon, the great red dragon, the nation of Edom, and his angels, including Vlad and all of them. They're going to all come together, stop fighting each other, and fight against Yahushua, the so-called black men, and the angels, because they're so-called black men too. And who got their ass whooped? And prevailed not. Who? The dragon and his angels. They prevailed not. They got shot out of the sky. Who? Who got shot? The serpent, the dragon, serpent, devil, Satan, all the same guy. Deceiveth the whole world. Caesar Borgia, look it up. Okay? Put your thumbs down. Let's get your boy Ronnie Reagan. Ronnie talked to Russia before it's too late. He can tell you about it because they all know. This ain't something that they've got. This is the war in heaven.
What's up, guys?
Devil's trying to stop this. You can't stop it, devil.
We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity.
What was that? That's the war in heaven. See the crosshairs right here? These are the crosshairs of Satan and his angels. His blue angels, if you will. You know, those jets. And what is this? These are the angels.
Yet how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Oh, yeah. You know who they are? The prophets of the Lord. The ones that know what is going on and how to break those scriptures down and tell you what's going on. That's what's going on here. So you go ahead and put your thumbs down and mark yourself, okay? As though the angels aren't watching you. And then after you do it on this video, go back and do it on all the other ones too. Like that's supposed to make me mad. No, I'm laughing at you. All you're doing is marking yourself for a sudden and horrible death. Oh, well, I'll just die. It'll all be over. No, okay? You don't understand the time of the Most High. One day is as 1,000 years. He can make 1 second, okay, feel like a lifetime. Go ahead, put your thumbs down. Damn demon. You think this is a game?
War and the threat of war.
There you go. We can stop there. See you tomorrow. We hope that the elect were edified. Shabbat Shalom.